Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and with this video, we're discussing my thoughts on episode 9 of the anime series, Amaama to Inazuma. And man, this one, I'm not even gonna lie, made me cry by the end. I'm not even talking about a lone tear or just getting misty-eyed. I out and out cried by the end of this episode. It got me misty a couple of times through the course of it, but by the end, the tears were shedding, and it was a long time coming. Dealing with the loss of Mami and Tsumugi and Kohei, continuing their forward progression of just trying to make life the best they can for each other. And Kohei, basically we begin this episode with Tsumugi's kindergarten class having a sleepover in school. And it's kind of cute because we actually get to see the fathers and the mothers there this time. All the fathers are outside, like, getting, the, courtyard painted so that everyone can use sparklers and stuff like that before the parents are going to leave. And the kids are making curry in class, and Tsumugi is deftly, basically, teaching her friends that this is not home curry, this is restaurant curry or professional curry. It's very yummy, but it's not the same as home curry. And it was absolutely hilarious to see both Tsumugi, using the little children's knife, and Mikio as well. And like after she cuts the carrot or whatever it is twice, she's tired, she's tuckered, she's done enough work for the evening. And this happens again later in the episode. But and then the parents are somewhat predicting, because of the fact that Tsumugi's mom is gone, that she might cry when daddy leaves her behind. And same for Kohei, will he be alright going home alone and all this kind of stuff. And we see that little Mikio is actually the only kid who's stomping and crying about wanting to go home and such like that. And so it was definitely chuckles and smiles up until the point when Kohei gets home. And there's a couple of scenes where he sits down on the couch and he just kind of sighs, and he's like, well, what should I do? Should I don't know, clean the dishes? Should I iron the shirts? And clean up the apartment, that kind of thing. And it's just, you can tell it's lonely. There's a point where he was praying at the little memoriam thing for the mother, and they just kind of skipped by it, but it left a lasting impression. And with this idea of home curry, this curry with raisins and apple chunks and all these other different kinds of things, like, it sounds fascinating to me. Very much like Katori. I wouldn't imagine, based on all the ingredients that this has in it, that it would taste as good as it probably does, but I'd be willing to at least sample it out, even with my picky palate. But it was intriguing to me because there was this revelation, this realization for Tsumugi when she finally came home the next day, and Kohei was excitedly looking through the kitchen, and he'd stumbled across the mother's, basically recipes of this particular dry curry or home curry. And it was something he really wanted to make for Tsumugi, much as he has been doing. He's been trying to recapture lightning in a bottle for her, and really for both of them, missing out on the dishes Mommy used to make. And there is this revelation on her part where she's sitting in the living room and she looks over at that little pedestal where Mommy's picture is, and she just becomes wide-eyed and silent, and then she looks back at Daddy. And the first stepping stones of that, reconciliation in her mind that this was a dish Mommy made, Mommy's not here to make it anymore, begins. And it, my heart caught in my chest when that happened. And that's one of those areas where I got a little misty-eyed when she runs up behind Kohei, grabs him by the neck, and just holds on to him dearly. And it's, again, those first baby steps to that revelation for her. And so, of course, everything begins to get happy-go-lucky again with Katori and Kohei exchanging the recipe, and her mom sort of streamlining it and adding a few things here and there, and, making it more apt to perfection when the dish will be done. And Tsumugi, as I said, you know, she wants to cut the ingredients again, some of the vegetables again, a couple of times, and then she's done. She's tuckered. She's done enough work for the day, and it's hilarious and adorable. And of course, when they eat this home curry, they love it. And Tsumugi is just shoveling it down like there's no tomorrow. Kotori had predicted this and made her a whole other bowl, a whole other portion. And there's that shared moment. It's such a beautiful thing because you can tell by the editing that both Kohei and Tsumugi are sharing this memory of mommy cutting onions and being all teary-eyed. They think she's upset. Something happened, and she just turns around with these, you know, tears flowing from her eyes, with the onion in hand, and then she grabs Kohei's glasses to make a funny face, and she gets all dizzy, and you see the X's in her eyes. And just that entire memory began to get me misty-eyed when they both chuckle about it in unison. And I didn't see it coming. They're walking home, and the follow-up to that earlier revelation on Tsumugi's part, that daddy is the one who made this dish. Mommy's not coming anymore. Mommy's not coming home because daddy's making her dishes now. And for me personally, it cuts close to home because I lost my parents early on in life, and have spent a lot of time, you know, taking guardianship of my sister, and we've been living together and trying to make the best of our lives, much as Kohei and Tsumugi have been doing. And it was just emotional. More than I would have thought. I mean, as soon as she grabs onto his leg, the tears just started flowing. I just started all out now crying. And that's the beauty of this series. It can make you smile, it can make you laugh, it can make you feel so good, and then it can really cut to the heart, and the emotion. And I love it for that. I love a series that can engage all emotions, whether happy or sad, whether aggravating or frustrating, everything, you know, in between. And I thought it was really cool, you know, that Kohei's buddy called him up and was concerned about him. I mean, he's kind of ribbing him, you know, oh, don't cry while Tsumugi's gone and everything like that, but it was some much-needed levity, you know, where you started to get those earliest perceptions that things were going to get emotional. And by the end, boy, they do. And that's really all I can say about it. I loved this episode, as I have loved every episode previous to it, and just love this series overall, even if it cuts to the heart of me and makes me just bawl my eyes out. And so, yeah, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you've seen episode 9 of Amaama to Inazuma, if you enjoyed it as much as I did, if you shed those tears as well, if you felt, you know, punched to the gut of emotion by the end of this episode, and what you thought of it overall. Love it or hate it, anything goes in the comments below. Just love having that conversation. Otherwise, that'll be pretty much it for me on this. Hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.